The referee that gave Caitlin Clark a technical, exposed.
It was quickly communicated that obviously there was what the ref interpreted was not actually the case of what happened.
The entire basketball community is in a frenzy over late-breaking information that has heightened controversy around a contested referee judgment involving a franchise player. The news has shocked the sports world. The most recent escalation involving the Indiana Fever, the WNBA league office, and a hotly contested referee decision has raised even more concerns. So if you thought professional sports refereeing had already reached the pinnacle of controversy, you should reconsider. Imagine the heated action taking place on the court during a hotly contested, high-stakes match between the Chicago Sky and the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark lost her balance and crashed into a baseline official while driving hard down the baseline and fending off intense defensive pressure from Natasha Cloud.
That she thought there was extra contact with Caitlin's forearm here as they were explaining it.
Players can go out of bounds and make accidental contact dozens of times during a typical basketball game using ordinary sports logic without a whistle being called for deliberate misconduct. However, the referee promptly blew the whistle and declared Clark to have committed a technical foul, claiming that the contact with the official was deliberate, rather than letting the game continue.
For accidentally bumping into an official after getting pushed out of bounds when her momentum is carrying her in the referee's direction. Referee sees her coming, instead of moving out the way, leans into it, gets bumped, sits there for a second, says, "Nah, I really don't like Caitlin Clark." Tees her up.
The substantial consequences associated with that particular whistle exacerbated the immediate fury both inside the arena and on digital platforms. In accordance with the league's disciplinary policies, Clark would receive 8 technical fouls during the regular season if he reached that specific milestone. A player who meets the required technical foul threshold may be automatically suspended for 1 game and fined, as per WNBA regulations. This meant that the Fever star might have to miss an important game against Breanna Stewart and the New York Liberty due to a forced absence.
Caitlin Clark, who accidentally bumped into an official, gets called for a technical foul. Then we have Natasha Cloud, part of the Black Lesbian Mafia, grabbing this official by the hips. Maybe that's why she didn't call it. She likes getting grabbed by the hips by Natasha Cloud. I don't know. Gets grabbed by the hips from Natasha Cloud. Natasha Cloud tries to push her and move her out the way so she can argue with an Indiana Fever player. Absolutely no technical foul. If that's not a double standard, I don't know what it is.
Fans, commentators, and former players debated the matter on social media right away. Many questioned the choice to punish an off-balance player for what seemed to be an unintentional contact. During the post-game news conference, Indiana head coach Stephanie White also voiced her dissatisfaction and harshly criticized the call. Meanwhile, Clark informed reporters that after watching the video several times, she thought the contact was completely accidental and that no words were spoken. The online debate that ensued made the matter even more contentious. Fans and independent analysts started looking over footage of the incident, referee assignment sheets, past games, and publicly accessible information on the officiating crew. Many fans urged the league office to clarify how officiating decisions are reviewed and referees are assessed, and the discussion swiftly grew beyond a contentious basketball call into a larger discussion about responsibility and transparency.
ESPN called up Adam Silver themselves. Like, Adam, you out your fucking mind with this dumbass referee suspending CC? Are you out your dumb mind with this foolish referee suspending CC?
League executives can no longer afford to remain mute in a time when every moment of professional sports is scrutinized. The public outrage increased because many supporters believed the penalty was part of a larger pattern in which the league's most prominent players seemed to be treated differently by opponents and veterans. As sports talk shows, podcasts, and web producers devoted hours to debating the possible consequences of an 8 technical foul ban for a player who has emerged as one of the WNBA's most well-known stars, the argument grew more heated. The WNBA has seen tremendous growth in viewership, ticket demand, and merchandising interest, with both new and devoted basketball fans paying close attention to Caitlin Clark. For many fans, the prospect of losing a big attraction due to a contested technical foul seemed like an unneeded issue for a league that was expanding quickly. Growing pains are common when a sports league grows its fan base, according to analysts. But worries about inconsistent officiating can irritate supporters and possibly erode their faith in the product. Then, the situation apparently shifted just as the story seemed to be headed toward a protracted media frenzy. The technical foul was revoked by the league after reviewing the sequence. Consequently, Clark's total was reduced by the foul, and the possible suspension associated with that level was eliminated. Reversing a contested judgment raised new concerns about how the first call was assessed, even if it can show that the review process is capable of fixing errors. Opponents questioned why a decision this contentious needed to garner a lot of public attention before it could be revisited. They contended that the case raised concerns about whether the on-court decision-making and subsequent review process could be improved if the video unequivocally showed that the contact was unintentional. The incident made clear how crucial it is for league officials in charge of examining contentious situations to communicate with court officials. The interest has also been increased by the larger environment surrounding Indiana Fever games. Every significant officiating decision is closely examined because of rising ticket demand, expanding television viewership, and increased media coverage. Speculation can spread almost immediately when a referee makes a crucial call that fans feel violates the rules. For a league attempting to retain the confidence of a rapidly growing audience, accuracy, consistency, and transparency are particularly crucial. As the situation calms down, the evaluation of technical fouls continues to receive attention, especially in cases involving ordinary physical play, emotional reactions, or unintentional contact. The league has a system in place to amend mistakes, as seen by the rescission, but it also strengthened the case that avoiding contentious calls in the first place is much more crucial than correcting them later. An officiating disagreement can have far-reaching effects that go well beyond a single game or a player's total technical fouls. Fans who purchase merchandise, tickets, and streaming services anticipate a fair and constant competition. It may be frustrating and detract from the players and the sport itself when dubious calls take center stage after a game. Since joining the professional ranks, Clark has been subject to heavy media scrutiny and defensive attention, and physical competition is an inevitable aspect of basketball. But there's a crucial difference between an aggressive defense and an official call that players or spectators feel is inconsistent. Regardless of the player's profile or the level of attention they receive, officials must assess every scenario impartially. Sports media's function has also undergone significant transformation. A contentious choice that used to only garner a brief discussion on television may now be examined in a matter of minutes on social media, podcasts, and other digital venues. Long after the final buzzer, fans may discuss individual choices, watch multiple camera perspectives, and quickly share clips. Officials are under even more pressure to make consistent and justifiable choices as a result of this enhanced visibility. In the future, preserving trust in WNBA officiating will include ongoing instruction, efficient review processes, and transparent communication regarding the handling of contentious judgments. Referees are not expected to be flawless by fans. Basketball officials have to make tough choices in real time because the game moves so quickly. Fans anticipate uniformity, professionalism, and fair enforcement of the rules for each player on the court. Both players and officials have a narrower margin of error as the season goes on and each game becomes more crucial. While officiating teams must ensure they enable a fair and competitive game rather than becoming the main plot point thereafter, the Indiana Fever must continue to concentrate on the competition. The system can react when issues are brought up, as demonstrated by the adjustment of a contested technical foul, but making the proper decision the first time should always be the main objective.